In a world crying out for a top 10 show, John Rocha and Matt Knost are here to bring you the top 10. Brought to you by the Schmoes Know. Take it away, boys. Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of the Top 10 Show. I am John Rocha.
I am Matt Knost.
And we are coming to you live from our new podcast studio here at Collider. This is pretty incredible. I'm super happy this got built so quickly. Thad did it in like days, 2 or 3 days. Once the money came through, once the approval came through to buy the materials, he was in here constructing stuff because he's one of those dudes. I'm not one of those dudes, but he's one of those dudes who likes to build shit.
Sure.
And so he's in there with like measuring stuff out, doing the level, all that kind of
stuff. All I've been doing for the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, have you been doing that too?
I'm making 2 new things for the restaurant.
Oh, that's right. You building those? What are you building? Tables or
Now this time I'm replacing a piece of the counter that's worn. It's this raised profile piece between the 2 registers,
right?
And it has the logo, and I put it all in wood, and I stained it, and up there, and put like a heavy urethane coating.
Okay,
it's specially designed to hold up, but it held up for 2.5 years, and it's done at this point.
Right.
So I'm making a new one with epoxy, and then I'm making this lighted. I taught myself electricity and making a lighted sign for this tap keg. Tap handle little display that's going to be the upcoming beers, what are on deck.
Wow.
So I make both of those. So, so I'm all in. I was wondering if the actual took into account the science of needing to place certain sound deafening elements in areas, or is it just slapshod?
No, apparently
that one seems slapshod.
Yeah, this one because it's not up yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there was someone who came in here and like offered advice about where to put everything.
Oh, okay.
And so once he did that, then Thad had measured it out and marked it, but they hadn't gotten the materials there because we had to get the budget approved for it. So finally, the money came through and it was quick. It was real quick. Like, go to Home Depot, get all this stuff, come in here and build it. So we built it really quickly. So not we, obviously, because I wasn't in here, but Thad did. And he was like, you could hear it was like I don't know, it was like something on a Monty Python. You could just hear all the different sounds of like drills and hammering and cutting and all that kind of stuff happening from another room while you're working. It was hilarious. What are you looking at?
I'm just looking around seeing how much work he had to do. That's all. I'm assessing the amount of time it should have taken him. It's a good job, though. The man is professional. I will give him that. I mean, right now it's an A-. That needs to be taken care of.
I mean,
this is an eyesore. Thad, get off your ass. You've done 99% of this job.
By the way, I know I say this almost every week. We need to get Thad on the show. We need to get Thad on the show. That's going to be a fun show when we do have
But technically, having brought him up and talked about him numerous times now, he's kind of been on the show.
That's true. He's kind of riding, what would we say? He's riding in the back seat of the car. Certainly the whole time.
There you go.
He's in the child seat.
Beautiful way to put it. He's in the child seat. Okay, I don't know if I second that emotion, but we'll see. We'll see where this goes.
I think Thad likes to ride in comfort. Anyway, so this week we've got a lot of stuff going on. Matt, we're recovering from Game 1 of the finals.
Yep.
Lord God Almighty. What a game.
Which we talk about on Outlaw Nation.
Yeah, we will.
Outlaw Nation.
I will absolutely... I guess so. I guess this is going to come out before Outlaw Nation, this episode. So there will be an episode of Outlaw Nation this week. Matt and I are going to talk a little bit of basketball, talk about the finals, think what we think is going to happen after that debacle, and then and we'll talk about that. So look for it on Thursday morning.
By that time, so then Game 2 is done and Game 3, and we're getting our thoughts on Game 1.
Thoughts how the series is going to go.
Yeah, let's see where our predictions end up. Don't know yet.
I like it. This week, what we wanted to do you want to talk about why we chose the topic that we chose this week?
We had another one in mind, and as happens on occasion, it seems to happen more often for me where I text you and I'm like, I don't know about this one.
Yeah.
Now, maybe you had the same thought. I don't know.
No, I didn't.
On this one?
Yeah.
Could you have gotten a 10 on it?
I could have gotten to at least 8 or 9.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but a solid 8 or 9 that I supported, not a solid 8 or 9 just to round out the list.
I think I'd be at solid 6.
Oh, fair.
Because I haven't seen enough of those.
Right, and I respect that. And so when you text me, I'm always like, okay, what's the situation? And we've had this come up before,
and on occasion.
And so when we do, you're prepared now to have an alternate possibility. Most of the times when you reach
we
out.
talked about it like 3-4 days ago. Hey, because we do the schedule well in advance.
Yeah.
And this is fascinating for listeners to
I think
hear
it
about.
is. I think it is.
Anyway, point of fact on scheduling on this.
Ipso facto.
Yeah, so sometimes when you forecast out for 3 months,
Yeah.
you get tired by the end of the list, and you're just like, I don't know, what about this one? And we got this movie. And,
Right.
and so we got to this week. It's a good topic. I think it'll just have to be revisited later.
This list could be, we could not have the same things. We could have the same things. It's such a wide open possibility. And this is, of course, because of Hotel Artemis, which I went and saw, but I don't think I'm allowed to say anything until next week.
Okay.
But all I can say is that I enjoyed seeing it in the theater with Perry. We went to a screening of it. And it's a pseudo premiere, I guess, that they had in Westwood. It's weird. Like, I'm used to an Avengers Infinity War. Now, that's a premiere. So
It all can't be the biggest movie of the year.
I'm just saying, I'm figuring out as I go along in this side of the business, like what a premiere looks like, what a premiere doesn't look like, what it is, when it's just a screening, and when it's a premiere. And so, like I went to the Upgrade pseudo premiere over at the Egyptian. I guess it was the premiere, but the red carpet there is like literally 10 feet of red carpet to lay out in front of a stand.
You've gotten Dom or the best vintage I've never heard of.
Right.
And now you're complaining about your Corbel splits. Dude, it's still champagne, my friend. It's still champagne. It can't all be Dom.
I guess so, man.
You can't always have steak. Sometimes you got to have a burger.
I feel like sometimes I'm still that kid who like saw this stuff from afar and was so mesmerized by it. Then when you show up and actually do it, you see that it's actually all smoke and mirrors.
Don't meet your heroes, man.
Yeah, man.
Don't meet your heroes. Anything you deify too much, no matter what it is, it rarely, if ever, lives up to the hype.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. I hope I never meet Jordan. I legitimately hope I never meet Jordan. I want to.
I want you to meet Jordan on a court.
I almost got booked on a Haynes commercial.
Oh, man.
It's part of the reason I started giving up because it was like my 7th time making Avails, which basically, for those
Avail
listening,
is the worst.
You book it, and Avails is the runner-up in a beauty pageant.
Yeah.
So if the first one can't fulfill their obligations, they have something else come up.
Yeah.
But what's going to come up for a Jordan Haynes? You know that thing's going to run. It's going to pay you a lot of money. You get to meet Michael Jordan.
Right.
Are you kidding me with this? And it was just, I've gotten so many of those. I just got fed up after a while. I'm like, I'm sick of being second.
Was it Jordan with the
Hitler mustache?
With the Hitler mustache?
It was the one on the plane, I believe.
You think he did it on purpose?
Who knows?
Come on.
You know, he's lived an insulated life in his own bubble for a long time, so maybe he just was like, this looks good on me.
I guess.
And years later heard people compared him to the little, Mein Fuhrer.
You basically, that's what it was.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
You can't be oblivious
You
to
could
it.
say Chaplin if you wanted to, but it wasn't bushy enough.
I know, it wasn't Chaplin. There's a difference.
I know.
I'm just saying.
So I don't want to meet him. I want to give him the air, even after the Hall of Fame speech. Anyway.
I want you
this
to meet
week's
him on the
show-
court so he talks shit about you. Yeah.
Why? That's like playing a child for him.
But no, but it'd be great to have you have the greatest of all time talk shit about you while you play. Talk shit to you while you playing him.
My cousin-in-law.
I would love that. Yeah.
My cousin-in-law has played a pickup game with Jordan.
What?
He was an all-NBA guy, or not all-NBA, pardon me, all-state guy in Illinois.
Oh.
And he was in high school, and he knew a guy that knew about this game that played in pickup every once and again, and Jordan was associated, so were a bunch of other people. And since he was this good, he was like, why don't you come over and play? And he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he doesn't even talk about it that much. I can't imagine he got that much playing time if Jordan's on the court. Maybe he rode the pine. I don't know. I don't think there's that much because it's a pickup game. But still, it was like, wow. I couldn't even imagine what that's like. And he's only working at like 40%.
Tops.
Yeah.
Was like, were you watching that Joel Embiid stuff? Did you watch the videos?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
He's moving in slow-mo and still doing whatever he wants to.
If I was Philly, I'd be going insane. Anyway, we don't want to get into it.
I know. We can do this. Let's save this for
Yeah,
Outlaw Nation coming out on Thursday. So we chose...
Nice plug. Yeah.
No problem. I'm still hoping for, my condo or whatever the case is.
Oh, yeah.
We chose Crime Underworld.
Criminal Underworld.
Criminal
movies.
Underworld.
Yeah.
When I texted you, I was like, I don't know, something fictional like Hotel Artemis. So steer clear of like actual underworlds, like real ones, is what I tried to do.
Yeah. It wasn't easy because I think I might have one cheat on here or maybe two, but it wasn't easy because the fictional, like mobster stuff, mobster stuff.
Yeah,
so I had to leave a lot of the mobster stuff off.
I left it all off.
Yeah. Okay.
I left it all off.
Okay. All right.
Because to me, it's just like most of this is predicated upon some truth, and
Okay.
I want something that's like Hotel Artemis,
Right.
Stylized, fictionalized.
Okay.
This kind of crime world. But that was to me. That's why this was a weird topic. It's just like I don't know. This is what it means to me.
Right.
Just so you have a heads up.
Yeah. So I might fail at this.
Or you might have a more accurate definition, because I don't know what the definition is.
Who can say? Who can say?
Well, we should, because it's our show.
Hey-oh, that's a good point, yes.
But
right.
since we last minute it a couple days ago, we're winging this one. So just suck it up, listeners.
Oh, and if you want to kill anything on my list, I will respect it.
Yeah, this is one of those weeks of if you guys come up with a better definition, this is a first for us. Just admitting defeat kind of before.
Right off the
I'd like
bat.
the idea, I just don't think it was defined enough.
It was a great idea, though. So it's fun to actually walk in like not knowing, because most weeks we walk in ready to defend our choices. Now this is more of a organic or
let's have a discussion as to what. More fluid definition.
Yes, fluid. Absolutely, I love that word.
So that's why it's that this week for Hotel Artemis. I hope it's good. I'm
Yeah.
glad you enjoyed it with Perry and who else?
Just me and Perry.
Okay.
Yeah, she invited me.
Yeah, I should be seeing it in the theater. I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
Schedule just depends on that week. So anyway, once we set a topic, we go our individual ways, create personal top 10 lists, and show back up here. I do my bottom 3. He does his bottom 3. I do my next 2. Then he does his next 2. Then we trade one apiece. Once we have revealed our personal top 10 list, we create the shows between the two of us.
Boom.
It's the first time I've actually messed up in a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's just different from the way I do it every other.
Yeah.
Somebody else out there heard it too. You know what I mean?
All right.
So that's all I'm going to say.
I just try to think the best of you. Go ahead.
Thank you. My number 10 is Sexy Beast.
Punt.
It's a punt?
That's a massive punt.
Okay. That's where it was like, it's getting close to mobster for me. It's
Yeah,
getting
but
close to mobster.
But it's not an
It's
organized mobster type of
Yeah,
situation.
that's
So-
why it snuck at a 10. I was like, I don't know about this one.
Okay.
Okay, number 9, Drive.
Oh, great choice. Balls. I did
Not-
not put that on my list.
Was it in the discussion?
No, I didn't even think about it because I was so focused on him that I didn't think about like the Albert Brooks side of it and the Brian Cranston side
there's
of it
a
and
crime
Oscar
underworld.
Isaac side
It's
of it.
existing.
Yeah,
it seems
great
to be
choice,
like,
dude.
It's not huge,
Right.
It's not like they're whatever MS-13 or the
Right,
Yakuza
right,
or something
right.
like that. It's just a couple guys that are up to no good and they've gotten good at it.
Yeah.
From their end with Albert Brooks and Ron Perlman,
I like it.
and Perlman playing like a weird asshole.
Yeah.
It's a lot of interesting choices because I like him so much. I'm like, all right, I'm buying this. But
Yeah.
if it was anybody else doing it, I'd be like, I don't know about that line.
Cranston was good too.
Cranston's great. He's got
Right?
that hobbled hip and walking around, and I love the setup, especially when Brooks gets introduced to Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
And Brooks goes to shake his hand, and Gosling's taking off his gloves really slowly, and it's an
Yeah.
awkward like 20, 25 seconds. And Gosling is like, well, my hands are kind of dirty. And Brooks, it's beautiful. I knew the line was coming, but it's
Yeah.
a beautiful character setup. So are mine. It's already extended, implying, trust me,
Yeah.
I've dealt way worse than you ever have.
Right. I
but
dig the film, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, there are moments when when he curb stomps the dude, that to me was in the theater. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah.
And then it kind of pulls back in, so his orbit went a little erratic in that moment for me.
Right.
But I know other people was like, that's when I loved it even more.
Yeah.
And if it had that effect, I think it would have jumped even higher.
Wow. I love the soundtrack too, man. It's a lot of
Yeah.
great like 80s retro
inspired.
new wave stuff. Yeah, and you get that Kravinsky, I think is his or Kravinsky stuff going through there, and College Youth, all of that going through it. It's just fascinating music that I had not heard in a mainstream film. I didn't think it was going to be ever put into a mainstream film because I'm into that 80s retro new wave synthesizer shit that people are doing now.
Sure.
And so to have it pop up in a movie, I was super excited. And that film is damn good. And
It is.
I wish I'd thought of it. So that's all I can tell you is I wish I'd thought of it.
All right, so that was my 9.
Yeah.
My number 8 is Payback.
That's my number 7.
Is it?
Cool.
It's a great movie.
Goddamn good movie, man.
It is. It was in the weird period where Mel was putting out, like, you never knew. It was in that Bruce Willis phase
Yeah.
that Bruce has been in for a while now.
Yeah.
Well, now it's all, I assume, for the most part, like 75%, unfortunately, from Bruce. I assume now it's just mediocre to bad.
Right.
He's fine in it.
Yeah.
But anyway, within Payback, look, I just like that it shows up and there's this intricate but hidden little crime network with it entirely. And they have all the different stuff that, like Hotel Artemis, this world would also have a hospital that is only for criminals.
Right.
Because they have that huge hierarchy and structure.
Yes.
When
that's just mean.
when he shoots his luggage, it just destroys all his suits because he knows, like, he can't kill me.
Right.
But at the same time, you can inflict damage that is not so retaliatory that I need to kill you.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, like, well, fuck you, I can still do that kind of thing.
And it's also right in this period where Coburn was doing more things.
Yeah.
Because he was in Affliction, he was in this film, and so he was starting to pop up. Even Hudson Hawk to a degree. He was popping up in these films randomly, and you were getting to enjoy him again. So his part in this film was great. And Chris Christopherson was fantastic.
I always like Christopherson.
Oh, yeah, man.
Always.
Yeah, since the 70s. Anything he's
Dude,
in,
I like
he's
him in
enjoyable.
You ever seen Millennium? I enjoy that movie thoroughly for some reason.
Such a weird little movie.
It is. It was on Saturday afternoon for like 2 years of my life.
Yeah.
It came on every couple of months, and I happened to see it. I was like,
Cheryl Ladd, I think, right? Isn't that the girl?
And Scott Thompson from Kids in the Hall plays like the robot gatekeeper, but I'm pretty sure they overdubbed him.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's just...
Oh.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous movie. Anyway, Chris Christopherson is great in it.
Yeah.
Just a little structure of all he wants is payback. He just wants his money. Mm-hmm. The money that he is rightfully due.
Right.
But to them, this huge structure is such a trivial amount. We can't imagine why you would put yourself through all these paces.
Yeah.
There's another reason behind that.
Sure.
And by the way, if
find
you
out?
guys hear effects behind us,
Yeah.
there's like some weird something going on in the next room over.
Yeah. This is the price you have to pay for this podcast studios is not quite 100% soundproof, but, that's all right.
If it gets bad enough, we'll crack some heads.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Sure. I'll let you go first.
Not a problem. I'll run in there. I have no liability other than I can never do anything here ever again.
That's probably true, yeah.
You get fired.
Probably.
So
I'll say I tried to stop him so I don't get fired. But I tripped. This also, Maria Bello's fantastic in this, going back and forth with him. The stuff, David Paymer is hilarious. They have all these great characters all through the movie. And Lucy Liu, like all that stuff just popping up out of the blue. Great stuff in this film. And there's a director's cut. So there's 2 versions of this film that actually exist out there. That
Really?
Yeah, there's a director's cut to Payback that's a little bit longer and a different ending.
What does it build up more of the tension of why he's doing it kind of thing?
Well, the
Fleshing
relationship
out?
is built out more. Yeah. All the stuff that happened to him and why and the prison stuff. And the stuff with the son is a little more brutal. But, dude, that torture scene, man, Mel loves that graphic shit. He loves that graphic shit. Hacksaw Ridge was full of graphic. I know he didn't direct
Plays
this
it so
thing,
well.
But he loves doing this shit. So.
Yeah, he carries pain and rage.
Yeah. Oh, my God, he's so good.
well, which we've talked about numerous times in the past.
Yeah.
I wish he wasn't Looney Tunes.
Yeah, when they're pulling fingernails off him or toenails off, you're just like, ah.
Yeah.
But he can do it so well.
Like, what he'd been great in, and I'm not taking anything away from, is the Denzel part in Man on Fire.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Man on Fire is flawless. I like Denzel in it, but can you imagine they do that same thing with Mel?
No, that'd be fantastic.
I want to see that.
Absolutely agree with that.
Because he's done kind of, the Gringo, where he was in prison.
The Gringo, which was good.
Yeah, it was good.
For a small thing.
Yeah.
Edge of Darkness is great.
Edge of Darkness was good.
Oh, my God.
I know. I just wish he wouldn't.
I know, dude. Yeah.
It sucks, man.
What was the other one? The one with his Bloodfather. The one where his dog. Have you seen that one?
I don't think I saw that one.
Dude, you got to see that one. That one just came out like a year or 2 ago.
Okay.
And he's like this dead. He's not dead. He's an alcoholic father whose daughter gets into this thing with.
I might have seen that. Was he like a cop or a former cop or some shit?
Maybe he might have been a former cop. He had a big beard and does tattoos for people. He's an alcoholic. And William H. Macy's in this
Of course,
thing.
he's an alcoholic.
Right.
A lot of Mel's characters start an alcoholic.
That's why I have issues. William H. Macy's is his what do you call that guy? The person you call when you're sponsor. William H. Macy's is his sponsor, and then Diego Luna is this crazy gang leader who Mel Gibson's daughter got involved in with romantically, but then she saw them kill this couple, this rich couple, and she flipped out and ran, and so Diego Luna's coming after her.
Okay.
And so Mel has to like save her, and Mel used to be, I think he either used to be a cop or used to be a security guy or something. So he gets pulled out of the tattoo stuff and out of his trailer park to try to figure out how to save his daughter. It's kick-ass.
Oh, you know what? I watched the first hour and fell asleep to it once. That's why I was like, okay, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And wasn't there like a mobile home?
Yes.
That he gets dragged out of? Yeah.
Yep.
I was like, but I don't know how it concludes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's
Payback is a great little Mel Gibson movie, guys. So you should go see that.
Absolutely. I love the blue tone of that movie, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Blue color tone. All right, so we're up to number 10?
Yeah, your turn.
Lucky number 11.
Yeah, it was on my side list, but it didn't make the cut.
I like this film, man. I'm one of these guys that marks out for Josh Hartnett. Like, I like Josh Hartnett. I can't explain it. I just enjoy him. I really enjoy Penny Dreadful, but I really enjoyed him in this movie. And this movie surprised the shit out of me when I went to see it because I thought it was just a trivial thing. I went on a date with someone I was seeing at the time, and I went in thinking it was going to be just a throwaway film. And man, it was really enjoyable. Bruce Willis is in this thing.
Morgan Freeman's in it.
Yeah, Ben Kingsley.
I was going to say, who's the other? It was a white heavy against Morgan Freeman.
Right, and I think Lucy Liu's in this too as his girlfriend, and so she plays like a real quirky Asian type character, which you don't really see Asians play a lot in these kinds of films. Usually they're the vamp or they play the really hardcore person. To see Lucy like just relax and play just a person who's a regular person, it was great to see that in their chemistry and the way the twists and turns of this movie, how they go about, and when you find out why he did what he did and the connection and why
it's Tarantino influenced.
Yeah, you
like
can sense
style
that.
coupled with why am I blanking on his name? Madonna's former ex-husband.
Guy Ritchie.
Thank you. It's like a blend of those two slick American style.
Absolutely.
Like, feels like it's through a commercial filter.
Right. And it's enjoyable, though, man. By the time the twists happen, you're just like, oh, this has been a fun journey. Because and I've never seen Josh Hartnett be more comfortable in a role than I saw him in this movie, and it was enjoyable to watch. Sometimes you just want to watch somebody just enjoy themselves in a movie, you know?
Yeah.
And so I definitely put that on there. All right, so my number 9 is a British film. There's a lot of British films on here, so I don't know. I might be in trouble here. But my number 9 is Rock and Rolla.
It was on my side.
Okay.
But go ahead.
I do enjoy this film. Gerard Butler, Tom Hardy, Tandy Newton, that weird Russian guy who you see in a number of films. I can't remember that actor's name. You have, the mob aspect of the Criminal Underworld aspect is run by Tom Sizemore, who does nice. Oh, not Tom Sizemore. Who am I thinking? Tom. What's his name? Damn it! I'm losing it all, man.
There's Michael Strong is in that.
Mark Strong. Right, he plays the second in command.
Yeah.
Who's the guy? I forget the guy. I have to look it up, I guess.
I haven't seen it since the theater.
He's in Batman. He plays, and he's in the Full Monty. So he was in that. He plays the leader of this underworld situation. Tom Wilkinson, that's it. Tom Wilkinson, he plays the leader of this underworld, and he's like bald, and so he's doing his thing, and he does this thing where he like robs people of certain possessions to fund other things. So this whole thing about this Russian guy's obsessed with his painting, and so he's obsessed with Tandy Newton, but Tandy Newton tells him she's got a husband, which she doesn't have. So Tom Wilkinson is on the other side using his people. Mark Strong is his second in command. He's the one that's trying to get Gerard Butler, Tom Hardy, Idris Elba, them all to pull this heist and get involved in the situation. And then on the other side, Toby Kebbell plays Tom Sizemore's adopted son who has this grudge, and he's a rock and roller. That's who he's based on, rock and roller. And so all these people like have these weird things that they're doing all through the whole movie, but it all leads back to Wilkinson and shit he pulled when he was younger and all their lives. And then you see how it all plays out. And it's just a fun film to watch, and it's one I champion. It's a Guy Ritchie film, but it's a Guy Ritchie film that I thoroughly enjoy. And once again, it's not a standard mobster movie, so to me this is a Criminal Underworld that works because it's not like like tiered out. So it is what it is.
This is also like he'd had done Swept Away and something else that didn't do well.
Revolver was terrible.
And then I remember seeing the trailers for this, and it was like, oh, okay, Guy Ritchie's getting back to being Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
So I went to see it for that. I just haven't seen it since then. I need to see it again.
I own it. I love it. I go back to it all the time. All right, that was my number 9. So then my number 8, unfortunately, is another Guy Ritchie film, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Was that a punt?
Oh, fuck. It's on my side, and it's marked as supposed to go in, and it never went in my list. I'm not even kidding. That would have been for Sexy Beast.
Oh.
Well, no, I'm saying that would have bumped that down, and that probably would have landed somewhere around 6 or 7, I guess.
Okay. So I'm not too far off with Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels.
That's a mistake. See, it's part of the fluidness of this. I screwed up my own list. It happens. What are you going to do?
Of course.
We've done a lot of these.
And to the person who tweeted at me, hey, Rocha, you need to write numbers next to your list because it bores me to hear you kind of count out your suck my blah blah blah. All right, so that's
why
what
are you censoring yourself now?
No, okay.
We all know
suck my dick then.
Yeah,
I'm just mad because I thought it was such an offensive thing. We give you a bunch of free entertainment, and you're sitting there going like, oh, you know what you should do is take out a few seconds where you're counting down. Shut up. Anyway, all right. So Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Guy Ritchie.
Look, I support you 1,000%.
Thank you. I'm not allowed to comment on Twitter anymore. I've been told to kind of to not.
It's probably for the best.
Yes,
it's only one
responses.
dude.
Yeah, it's one person. So.
Yeah.
Anyway, this film. I really love this movie, man, and it's one I go back to all the time.
Should have made my list. That's how much I like it.
Fair enough. It's essentially the Reservoir Dogs of his resume. It is that first thing that announced him was really interesting. I still have the soundtrack, and when it pops on my iPod or iPhone, I always listen to it, or in the car. I always like to hear the accents of the guys, like the governor, because the deep Cockney is just great, and the different British accents.
Yeah, trying to figure out exactly what they're saying at certain points.
Yeah,
you could subtitle it if you wanted to.
Sure. Oh yeah, of course you could.
Yeah.
But it's all these different accents coming together, because the film is basically and Sting is Sting is in it as well. Sting's son, I think Nick Moran is the name of the actor. Him and like his 3 other buddies. They play
Statham. It's the guy that plays. He's a cook, but he's done tons of different things.
Dexter Fletcher. That's his name. He's directing the Queen film.
Is he?
The biopic.
I didn't know that.
And the Elton John one that's coming out in a year or two with.
I'd say Bohemian Rhapsody looks interesting.
That looks great. I'm surprised.
I hope it's good. That looks interesting.
Me too, man. They moved it up because they think it's going to be in contention for awards. So for the release.
When's the release?
I think it's later this year, like November or something like that.
Well, November make the most sense. That or December if it's genuinely going to try and strive for.
Exactly.
Because wasn't it supposed to come out in like September, October?
Yeah. Well, no, it was supposed to come out next year.
Oh.
So they moved it up. Yeah. I think I've got that right. And then Jason Fleming's in there as well. And Jason has done a lot of stuff as an actor throughout, he was in a number of films. So all those guys, it's really interesting to see those guys. And so, they play this hand against this guy, Bricktop Harry, I think the guy's name is, and he rigs a poker. Yeah,
this was a great character, and then they just show a quick cut to it. It's just this thing, like, oh man, it's if you're going to go for that joke, I appreciate it. Just like boom, boom, done.
Yeah,
in out. We don't need to spend a lot of time.
Exactly.
on that.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's demonstrative enough just having flashed the one image.
I just love the line when the governor who's the big dude is the henchman of Harry. And he's trying to tell those 2 idiots from Liverpool about getting those ancient guns, old guns, the 2 shotguns. We got shotguns. Oh, you mean guns that fire shots? And he's like, oh yeah, you must be the brains of the outfit. Yeah, guns that fire shots. Yeah, shotguns. All of that kind of stuff. The back and forth is so great. And then you see and then you have this whole other like crew of villains that live next door to these dudes, to the main guys, and they're off doing their heist about stealing the weed and all the stuff that they're doing. So it's a film full of rich and interesting, fun characters.
That movie actually taught me the word copious.
Oh, yeah. Copious amount of ganja. Yeah, man.
I had never heard that before. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I like vocabulary. And it's just like I can't believe I've never heard copious. And now I use it. Every time I use it, I think of the guy when he's strolling out, like trying to explain the situation.
We have copious amounts of ganja.
Yeah. Why is this a problem? It's just like, he seems like some sort of prep school kid that got into weed.
Yep. And the guy he's talking to is the guy who plays young Sherlock Holmes, the kid. That's the same actor, if you ever saw that movie. So I have weird things like that. Anyway, so through the whole movie, it's just a lot of fun to see the different characters and how it all comes together. And then Vinnie Jones, man, that's the introduction of Vinnie Jones. And he's incredible in this movie, man. Yeah. It's scary as fuck.
And was this was Statham's big break too?
Absolutely, yeah. Statham. Well, this is what announced Statham, and then Statham did his other film, which really put him on the map.
Yeah, but I'm saying didn't know who he was, and now that's the dude in Lock, Stock.
Absolutely.
Him and Vinny.
Yep. Absolutely.
So when they kept popping up and things, I'd be like, okay.
And Sting wasn't a bad asshole either, so I enjoy that.
No, I think Sting's a pretty decent actor more often than not.
If he would do more things, I think we could actually enjoy him more on screen. Yeah.
You know who else I like is Mick Jagger for some reason.
What? Do you like Free Jack?
Yep. It's terrible. That movie is terrible.
It really is.
But at the same time, the bad I like a lot, the stupidity of it. I mean, I want to say it'd be better now, but I could see them making just as shitty a version with better CGI.
I think you could do a better version of it now.
You could.
Absolutely.
You easily could.
Because it's got a little bit of a kitsch factor to it, and some people actually have it as a guilty pleasure.
I just think the story and everything else is so just pathetic in it.
Yeah.
It moves along, but at the same time, I don't understand a lot of the choices and whatnot. Yeah. Plus the dystopian future that they show seems like it was just thrown on. It looks like exterior. It doesn't look real.
Right.
There are aspects of it. But anyway.
Yeah. That's Emilio Estevez and Rene Russo, I think. All right. So, what's your number 7?
My number 7 is Baby Driver.
Oh, that's a great choice. God damn it.
Not on your list?
Fucking mad.
Look, I just forgot Lock, Stock, and it's literally written as the third.
Baby Driver's current.
Writing down on my side, I started with my honorables. It's the third one that I wrote down. That was the third one that popped to mind, and I fucked up and didn't put it on.
Let's talk about it. but I may end up putting it on my list if you nix one of my choices. So let's go.
Well, it's going to more than likely happen.
Yeah.
Because that's my 7, so the bottoms of our list are going to get chopped off a little.
Maybe. This is a good film.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's the driving in it is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Plus the cuts with how it's syncopated with like the music and whatnot, and the character, the design of his entire world, and you can follow his mood and the musical cues, and that tells you the entire tonality of the movie because that reflects whatever emotion he's existing in. It's his journey that we're with. So the pairing of the two is excellent. There are problems for me in the third act.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it because it only came out last summer.
Yeah.
But I still like the movie as a whole. It made my list. I'm not disparaging. I just don't understand a couple choices. One very specific.
Yeah.
It doesn't kill the movie for me, but on some level, it's like, it doesn't make sense. So why even do this with this character?
Yeah.
You could have that character somewhere else doing something else. Why this? I don't know.
Yeah, some of the decisions I agree. At the end, to make the end work, some of the decisions by the characters, you're like, okay, I don't get why.
I just don't know why we needed, I guess, redemption for one character in particular.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm like,
that's it. I don't. Why? If someone could give me a plausible explanation, actually because of X, Y, and Z, I'm open to it.
Yeah.
For me in my head, I was like, why is this happening?
Yeah, and Spacey's nephew is fantastic. That kid almost steals the film with his small role where he's in the bank. Oh my God, that kid is
great.
Yeah,
that kid is great. And the funny thing is, what's the lead actor's name?
Ansel Elgort.
There you go. I had never heard of him before.
Oh yeah.
Didn't know anything about him.
A lot of people hadn't.
Saw this movie and then looked him up online, and like the second thing that came up on Google or the third thing was, why is this guy's face the most punchable? And it was an article about actors that look kind of like that. And I was like, wow, I didn't know this dude existed. And everybody wants to sock him in the lip, just right in the kisser. It's like, Jesus. Okay.
Well, sometimes you want to be Fight Club. You want to destroy something pretty.
I just couldn't believe it. The mob had already made that choice. Yeah. I didn't even know who this fucking guy was.
A pretty boy.
The mentality of, this guy needs to get punched.
It's that prison thing, soft, pretty thing. You just want to destroy
Maybe,
it.
Coupled with the arrogance.
Yeah, maybe.
Kind of.
But Lily James is great in this movie as well as the waitress he falls in love with and their relationship. Yeah, it's fantasy relationship in these kinds of movies.
It is.
But it's still enjoyable.
It is. It's idealized for where they're at in their lives, and they think that this next adventure is going to be the great adventure.
Yeah.
And it's what every child at that age, because you are still at 18, 19, you're still a kid.
Of course.
Those listening, trust me, the gentlemen that are a little bit older, when I was 18 or 19, I thought I was an adult.
Oh, of course.
And it's just like, life hasn't slapped you around enough yet for you to get to wear that label just yet.
You're not seasoned enough. No way.
And that's, trust me, I don't wish it upon you. This isn't something that's like an exclusive club.
Yeah.
It's
just, you want to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's like you got to get punched in the dick a couple of times before I'm willing to go, that guy is a man. I don't think I became a man until I was 28.
Wow.
I think that was the age when I finally, I felt like a man.
I didn't until my dad died. I really didn't feel it like a man. I still thought I was playing child games. Okay. I was doing all the man stuff I'm supposed to do, but I was still kind of acting like a kid.
What age were you? I know I've asked that in the past, and I apologize that I forget.
37? 38?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 37, 38. Yeah, because when you come out here, man, you can be in a state of arrested development when you come out to L.A. And I came out when I was 30, so I always look younger than I actually am, and so I have this vibe in my own mind that I'm younger than I actually am. Like right now, I know I'm in my late 40s. I feel like I'm still in my 30s.
Of course.
So in my mind, and when I look in the mirror, I still think, oh, yeah, look, 30s.
Yeah, I still think I feel like I'm 33, 34, but I know that's not the case.
Yeah. And so for me, that's when everything really changed. I was like, okay, you have to start. And it's no coincidence. It's also when things started turning around professionally for me too. So it's just that matter of things. Like I was floating around too much being a kid, just getting in danger, ignoring red flags, doing the fucking around with my money, all that stuff that you do when you're not an adult and you don't think, and you think, you don't think like the world's going to end at any moment. You're just like, well, fuck it, I'm going to do whatever. And it's like, you have to grow up at some point. Yeah.
You do.
Yeah, but
whatever that means to you, but you do eventually have to this is destructive behavior, and why am I doing that? I am smart enough to know that I shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
Just making those consistent choices. Like I remember when I was proud of myself that I had been paying all my bills on time and had a positive bank account. Like at a certain point in my life, because I was dead broke.
Yeah.
For a long time. It's just that sense of accomplishment is like, yes, I'm building my way out because I was doing too much partying and doing too much of this and not focusing my attention where it should have been.
Right. I mean, I was like, I didn't have the alcoholism or any of that, but for me, I was addicted to.
Everybody's got their own thing.
Yeah, I was addicted to just danger. Like I liked,
Sure.
I messed around with like.
You can be a junkie of any kind.
Oh yeah, of course. I loved it. Like unprotected sex. I was like messing around with married women. Like I was doing all kinds of crazy shit.
Look, who hasn't been there?
I'm just saying.
Who hasn't been there?
I was chasing the dragon, son.
Yeah, hey, listen, I lived a good life too.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm fine with those choices.
All right, what's your number 6, man?
Anyway, guys, Baby Driver is great, so go see Baby Driver.
Yeah, go see Baby
Go
Driver.
see Baby Driver. My number 6 is Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't sure to put it on the list or not because it doesn't feel necessarily like a Criminal Underworld movie, even though everything is happening in the Criminal Underworld. It feels like more a human story. But it's a great choice. It was just only my reasoning for not putting it on there, but it in no way should color your decision to put it on there. I was just saying for me, that's why I left it off the list. But I totally get why you would put it on there.
Well, to me,
it all happens in the Criminal Underworld, the entire movie.
Yeah, but it's because it's a revolving door of individuals that we focus on.
Yeah.
It's a story of the crime underworld.
Right.
An encapsulation of a day in the life of this crime organization over here, however large or small they may be.
Yeah.
And just everything that transpired and all the different little players. And it is a crime underworld story.
Yeah.
Now, it rates down at number 6 because of a specific something maybe that's, potentially else out there. And that's where I struggle with because I didn't know if I wanted to do a double up.
Right.
But I was like, hey, you know what, man? It's if I'm going by the definition that I'm setting for myself.
And it's our lists.
Yeah.
Right.
The thing is, I think this might have gotten a bumped off for Lock, Stock.
Okay.
So that way I'm not violating.
Gotcha.
Because I didn't want to do it with him either. And I was like, I'm going to choose one, and this is my favorite of
Fair enough.
the 2-3 of his.
I respect you doing that.
Yeah. Thank you. I just got knighted, guys. If he had a sword, each shoulder would have gotten a little dab. A little dab will do you. And just got to stand up from my...
Sir Matt Knost. Yes, I like it.
How much bigger is my retirement package in Outlaw Nation at that point?
Well, you have to be a part of Outlaw Nation, and you, before we got on the mic, were saying you're not sure where you are in the Outlaw Nation. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
The problem is...
I have no Outlaw Nation without top 10.
As clear as the leadership... strategy and goals are, they're also murky at the same time because I don't know how you're executing all the different plans. So is it like this SS kind of crime not crime underworld, underhandedness? You know what I mean?
What? I would never be underhanded.
Espionage. I don't know what goes on in the nation behind. I haven't crossed the threshold of Rocha.
The nation is about being supportive of each other.
We got to talk to a PR firm. We got to punch this up, my friend. I think you should have a slogan, though. Something for Outlaw Nation.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I've never had a slogan.
How do you not have a slogan? So, I'm just waiting. That's what I like the idea of you. It's kind of medievalish, and you have banners, and there are people that are trumpeting and drumming as you stroll up onto things.
They are. I love it, man. I mean, you saw it at the live event when we did the Schmoedown Live. I was so surprised. All those people cheering for Outlaw Nation. It was insane. But, yeah. What were we talking about? You got me all lost.
We were talking about Pulp Fiction.
Oh, Pulp Fiction, yeah. And good movie. Great movie.
Yeah, that's probably why we detoured, because everybody that's listening to us has heard Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I had seen, Tarantino... It's amazing because you can see his influences, and the byproduct of them does not feel derivative.
Yes, agreed.
Whereas,
like he's tracing or something.
Yeah, it's where it's just like that actually ingrained within him, and now he is paying. This is his love to you, to that art, to that style, to. It's amazing to watch. Like, even though it's like, oh, he borrowed this idea from here and this, and like structured after, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Because he made something wholly unique with it.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the art for the art.
Yeah.
It's like, it's really impressive. I can tell the amount of time and care you put into this, and the interconnection between all the characters and the dialogue, plus the cinematography and the world you chose to set the story in.
Yeah.
It's like, you made excellent choices. It's impressive to see.
Well, that's why I love Kill Bill so much, both of them, because he does a great job of evoking that samurai warrior epic and then revenge journey that most of these martial arts films in essence are. It's like, the evil people come in and they almost kill someone, or they kill
little
someone
guy
who's
rising
really close. Yeah, exactly. You know me, I love that kind of shit. And so it's so Tarantino always does a great job of doing it, which is why people love it, because they instinctively know he is paying homage without stealing.
Yeah,
and the people who make those movies give him lots of love too.
Yeah, they appreciate it, because then it opens the door back to them.
Exactly.
Oh, if you like those movies, here's what you should go watch. If you've never seen, this guy's made this amazing film, and this one, like you can do it. You know, look at The Magnificent Seven. You can take something from someone else and repackage and make something that's wholly unique. It stands on its own. You understand the reference, the source material, and just now we're telling an American version of that.
Exactly. So cool.
Yeah, it is. So, I don't know what else to say about Pulp Fiction, so I just like the idea of talking up Tarantino, because I don't know that we've ever done that. Well, spotlight on you, Quentin.
We should do a top 10 with him at some point.
We should.
Yeah, even though we may not get the 10, but we should still do one.
I'll reach out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Have we ever asked him? That's you
want him to come on the show?
Yeah, we've never asked.
All right. We won't get a word in edgewise, but we should try to get him.
I won't be bothered that in the slightest. Because I know he knows more about film than I do.
Because he'll be just like, you put it where? I guess. All right, yes, okay.
Yeah, but how gratifying would it be then to go, you know what? What you did earlier, I forgot about that movie. And you're like, you're fucking right, you did. Because we're all human. There is a disadvantage when we have a guest, because they have, we'll talk to them in advance.
Yeah.
And this is the only top 10 list that they're going to make for a while, maybe ever.
Maybe.
And we do this every week. So they remember one like with JTE and Necessary Roughness.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, damn it, man. That is awesome. Mm-hmm. That is awesome for you.
Yep.
You need to get in the schedule of this show sometimes where I got to come up with 10s all the time, constantly. So there's, as much as you remember, you're going to forget something.
Of course. It's part of the magic, I think. It's part of what makes the people mad, too.
Yeah.
My number 7 was Payback. We already talked about that. My number 6 is The Usual Suspects.
Slight punt.
Okay, that's fine.
Slight punt.
So what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Collateral.
Oh, great choice. I didn't, because it's a hitman movie. I didn't, in my mind, think of it as a Criminal Underworld movie.
Well, because
that's a good choice.
It is a hitman, but he's hired by somebody that has enough of a connection somewhere, and the amount of money it would take to pay for someone that professional
to do that many kills in one night.
One night.
Yeah.
And one of those is what? And like assistant district attorney?
Yes.
Or maybe it's just the district attorney, but one of those two.
No, she's an ADA, yeah.
Okay. In Los Angeles.
Right.
That's a big price.
It is a big price.
That's a big price. So that means whoever's behind him, to me, was always this, okay, there's only 1 or 2 or maybe 3 of those dudes in the country at any given time. That's my guess.
Yeah, I would imagine so. And the fact that he's getting the list, so he has to go get like Jamie Foxx. He recruits Jamie Foxx, obviously, to be his driver. His driver. Well, what am I going to say?
Like he was an army recruiter and just called him up one day. Hey, what are you doing? Watching TV? You know what you could do?
You could be my driver for a bunch of kills, but hits. But like what? But then they lose the list, right? Because Jamie tries to fight back, and then he makes Jamie go and do that deal with Javier Bardem, which is a great fucking scene. But even Tom Cruise's character Vincent, doesn't have the list like memorized or written down. He knows where he needs to go, and so he assesses the situation once he arrives. He's so professional that he can just show up on the spot, create his own top 10 list, and kick ass at it. So it's incredible.
Well, the weird thing is, which we both talked about with Collateral in the past, the look of Tom Cruise has always been sold, for the most part, as hero.
Yep.
And to see those piercing eyes now from the villain's perspective, it gives a whole new twist on, like, we both want him to do another villain role. Please, come back and be this silent assassin, somebody that is just a monolithic force that is coming for you.
Yep.
Basically like a cheetah that mixed up with a glacier. You know what I mean? It's so huge and so fast that there's no getting out of the way. I guess that would be a comet, and I don't know why I just didn't choose comet, but I like cheetah glacier, and that's what I'm going to go with.
I like cheetah glacier.
Or glacial cheetah. I don't know. I don't know what works better.
Aglita.
I guess since it's, I don't know.
Aglita? Maybe Aglita? I like Aglita.
Oh. So the Gigli type, or not Gigli, but the Angeline, not Angeline,
the Bennifer.
Bennifer, thank you. I was trying to think of the cobble together, and I screwed up twice. That was pathetic.
J-Lo.
That was absolutely pathetic.
Was it Ben-Lo? Was it B-Lo? I don't
even remember. That's what I was like. I was around. It was Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, and they all had the stupid fucking ridiculousness. Anywho.
That's what the kids do, like to combine the names. Yeah.
So to see Tom Cruise now play against that and be a villain was so amazing to see. Plus, Jamie Foxx, I think this really set the stage for this guy can act. He can hold his own against one of the biggest presences within movies for the past 20, 25 years whenever this came out.
Yeah. Agreed.
And I've seen him talk about like when they did the audition and Tom Cruise is behind him, but he's saying his lines so softly.
Yeah.
Like within, like they're doing the actual scene as he wasn't anticipating. He's like, what the fuck did he just say kind of thing? It's like, you got to get into this, man. This is the moment. You got to live in the moment. I can't imagine what that pep talk is like from Tom Cruise up close and personal. That dude's got to be Tony Robbins.
Oh, yeah.
Times, I don't even know how much.
Super intensity coming at you.
Yeah.
But positive intensity, but it's still super positive intensity.
How many stories have you heard which is like he showed up on set and shook the hand of every person that was working?
Yep.
And you're like, yep, he does that every time. He takes a photo with every fan that shows up.
There are two people I've always wanted to meet in this town. I met one already with Travolta, and I want to meet Tom Cruise. Those two guys were guys that I watched all through my youth, their movies. And so Travolta was incredibly nice. And whatever you feel about whatever's on that side of the spectrum or whatever, I enjoyed meeting him. Very nice guy. And so I would love to have, if I could just accidentally be somewhere with Tom Cruise for like 10, 15 minutes, it would be incredible to be able to just talk to him, be around his energy and see if I can tell if he's authentic or if I can tell if it's put on. I just want to know, you know?
It looks so believably
That's
real
what I'm
that
saying.
I assume it is.
Yeah.
That he believes everything he's saying in every moment, and the moment he's living in currently with you is his most earnest, and he's trying his hardest.
Yeah.
That seems like all he does.
That's an incredible moment to be.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's just constantly delivering that. That is the brain chemistry that I can't fathom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was your number 5?
That was my number 5.
Okay, so then my number 5 is the pun from earlier, Sexy Beast.
Okay.
I fucking love that movie, dude. I tell everybody in the world to see that movie just from the beginning.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought this was more mob considering the other movies that I've had on my list. So
no, this is
Sexy Beast is awesome.
Yeah, it's a great underworld movie.
Great cast.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the thing that sells it to me because you've got Ray Winstone as the main guy, then you've got Ben Kingsley in the role of his life, for God's sakes, other than Gandhi. This thing's incredible. I read a
More
review.
menace than I ever thought he could pull.
That's the thing.
Just so terrifying.
I read a review. I've probably said it on the show before. It's stuck with me ever since. It's just when you're introduced to him from behind. He's wearing that white shirt and he's walking in the airport and you see that bald head of his from behind and he looks like literally a walking dick. And you're just like, oh, it's such a brilliant fucking description. Because what he does...
That's good character development from the jump.
Exactly. And what he does with the whole film is fuck everything it comes. And I don't mean physically.
Yeah.
I mean fuck over, like fuck mentally, fuck over, just completely battering everything with his cock. Just slamming into it.
Yeah, just because he wants his way.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
It. He is a grown child.
Which is what a dick would be if it could separate itself from your body and just go do what it wanted to do. So throughout the movie, and you see that with Ray Winston, just from the beginning, just the opening is great with him like having this weird voiceover. Oh yeah, it's hot. And he's lying in the pool, and then you see the boulder coming down, and the song from Rotten Peaches, what is it? Peaches on the Beaches. I think it's the Stranglers. Great fucking British song. And you see the boulder coming down from the beginning. You're like, this is a world that's insane, it's stylized, but still connectable.
It's Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
When the boulder is coming down, little does he realize that he shouldn't have bought that product from Acme.
Right.
Because his whole world is about to be fucked.
Exactly.
That's his introduction as a character. It's like
right.
It's like the same with Driver earlier when Albert Brooks pulls Gosling aside and he's like, listen, you got to know this about Cranston. He's got bad luck.
Yeah.
You need to know that going in. So if the time kind of comes type of thing. It's like sometimes you have to have those characters. It's just like luck's going against you and here's the freight train coming.
Yeah. You get the other way. But through the whole movie, because Kingsley's character is trying to recruit Ray Winston to come back because he is retired in essence in Spain with his wife, who apparently was a former prostitute or porn star. And so he's trying to recruit them to come back. And there's all this shit going on because Ian McShane plays the boss back in London who is trying to get, and he's called...
You know I love me some Ian McShane.
Yeah, and Ian McShane is so good in this. They have this weird kind of thing with Edward Fox that he has sex with Edward Fox in the showers. Like, it's weird movie going on with all this shit it's depravity. It's just depravity through the whole thing. And Ray Winstone, who was a former mobster guy or criminal guy in this underworld, has found a way out, so he thought.
Yeah.
And Ben Kingsley comes back and brings that whole world to him, and he won't take no for an answer. And then you throw in this other subplot that Ben Kingsley's ex-girlfriend is married to Ray Winstone's friend, who is also retired out to this point. place in Spain, and you have all that subtext going on. It's such an incredibly awesome criminal film, psychological film, and if you haven't seen it, I cannot recommend it enough. And then for some reason, there's a 7-foot bunny rabbit in the middle of his dreams or whatever. So it's just a kick-ass fucking film, and so much
it's a good
happens.
heist.
It's a great heist, and there's so much. You're on a knife's edge through the last hour.
Through the whole movie, man. You're uncomfortable in a lot of ways throughout the entire movie, thanks to Ben Kingsley and his terrifying performance.
I mean, when he's talking to himself in the bathroom, and then he purposely pisses on the carpet next to the toilet bowl just to fuck with him, and he
shows dominance.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is.
And then he talks himself into a situation where he has an internal narrative dialogue. And then he just kicks the door open and beats the shit out of Winston in bed because in his mind, Winston has been saying this shit to him in his mind. And even though Winston's been asleep the whole time, it's just madness, dude. Yeah. It's such a kick-ass film. What's your number? What's
my
number
4 was your punt from earlier, The Usual Suspects.
Okay, great, cool.
It's nice to see that the criminal overlord is part of the willing to exist within the world. That's why he's so good.
Yeah.
That's the aspect you rarely ever see. Usually it's the influence of power.
Right.
I have so many minions. I have this big structure. And she's like, no, I'm so cunning that I can escape any danger.
Yeah.
And I got all of you to do my bidding. And it cost me nothing.
Yeah.
It cost me nothing. And I get to walk away. So awesome.
And the reputation precedes me. So when you hear my name, I've already got you.
I'm a ghost.
Yeah, I'm a ghost.
Yeah, so if I actually to appear, it's like Han in A New Hope saying the Force, like it's a fairy tale. I've never heard of it. I don't believe it. I believe what I can see, kind of thing.
Right.
Guys are supposed to do the same thing. Just like a mythical Paul Bunyan like character.
Right.
Fuck off. And then you find out that he dupes.
Yeah.
He dupes his biggest skeptic on some level, the FBI guy.
Chaz Palminteri, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Telling a ridiculously fabulous tale by scoping just information around him. That's awesome. When that reveal happens, and the first time you see it, and he drops the cup, and that me as an audience member was like, wow, that was really well done.
It's so good.
Yeah. It's great when you walk out of a movie going, I know I'm going to love that in 10 years.
Yeah.
I know I am.
Yeah.
Because of the twist, like it doesn't suffer a little bit. The rewatchability, that's on some level kind of the hook, the meat hook of the movie.
Yeah.
Whereas others, like There Will Be Blood, when I walked out, I was like, I know I'm going to love that.
Oh, yeah.
Forever.
Yep.
It happens every once and again. That year was like that. No Country, a few others. Zodiac, I think it was that same year. Just
Zodiac.
like there's a bunch this year that's just like I know I'm going to like.
Yeah.
After a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, Usual Suspects, great cast.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that they got a stellar performance out of Baldwin?
And that's like the last time he was ever
The
good.
last.
Yeah.
That's like his high water mark. He was already in a trough before that. It shoots up on the graph and then goes right back down.
It does.
It's like, wow, to get that from him. And Kevin Pollak is good in it. Benicio del Toro.
Benicio gets announced as an actor, as a presence in this movie. It's really incredible. Kevin Pollak is great in this film.
And then Gabriel Byrne.
Oh, yeah. Byrne is great. And you think Byrne is Soze. That's what's so great about the movie is you think Byrne is Soze the whole time.
You don't think it's Meek Virgil.
No.
Over in the corner.
Verbal Kint. And when
Verbal, that's what it was.
When he surrenders completely to Palminteri and he's crying and Palminteri because you're stupid, Verbal, because you're stupid. You buy it because the acting from Spacey, like whatever's going on is personal stuff, but like the acting between him and Palminteri in those scenes are just incredible, man. And the progression throughout the film of his character coming in as like this meek, hobbled guy who's just, he's been brought in and he was like kind of tricked into this heist or this plot, and then he's like an unwitting victim, right? And all he wants to do is cooperate. He's kind of cocky at the beginning, and then slowly but surely, because nothing gets an officer off or detective off more than breaking down your cockiness. He knows that's how he's going to get the advantage.
Well, they got that beautifully on the setup because Palminteri keeps like bursting back in. Tell me about blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So Spacey's building up eventually when the dam breaks because it gets him, a little bit more and a little bit more.
Yeah.
So Palminteri thinks he's winning.
Yes.
Through, just trench warfare, slowly moving my lines, slowly but surely. And eventually this way I can break through.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's trapping him, man. It's great.
So that was my 4.
Okay.
What do you got a 4, my friend?
Let me see here. My number 4 then is Eastern Promises.
Okay, that's to me for some reason I was like, that's mob.
Yeah,
even though it's Russian mob.
It's Russian mob.
To me, I was like, that's mob. There's got to be some truth, I guess, on this somewhere, and I just
that's fair.
I'm not against it though. We both love this movie.
I know, and that's why I was going back and forth on putting it. But it's such a great movie that I think it deserves to be on the list for me.
Yeah,
and I don't necessarily tie it to like an organized mob situation because because of the dad and the son with Vincent Cassell and
I believe that came up on both of our lists for mob movies.
Did it?
I know it came up on mine.
Damn it! All right, I'll take it off. That's fine.
Well, no,
talk about it.
Listen, but at the same time, it's not like Godfather, which is they're stealing from. Look, that story is this. This player is this.
Right.
In Godfather 2, that's Meyer Lansky.
Okay.
This person is this. Like you have fictional mixed in with you stole this real person and used them for the same kind of storyline.
Right. Right.
So that to me was the gray area. So I'm not against it. It's an awesome movie.
We can take it out. That's fine. I knew it was going to be. I knew there was going to one of these that was going to be a bit of a cheat. So, all right, that's fine. What's your number? What's your number 3?
3 is what I alluded to earlier. Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, okay, cool, fine.
Not on your list?
I can put it at 4. How about that? I'll replace Eastern Promise with the Reservoir Dogs, and we're good to go. We're back in tandem.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to take 2 with Tarantino. Once again, had I realized that the third movie that popped to mind somehow did not make it over to the next list over.
Yeah.
I would have only had 1, but Reservoir is my favorite.
I'm
of
putting
those
it at 4 on my list. I love that movie to pieces.
Done and done.
Yeah, it's such a good movie, man.
It is.
And I prefer it over Pulp Fiction.
Me too.
Why don't I have a problem putting it over Pulp Fiction? It's just great. A great bunch of characters coming together to pull this heist off. Mm-hmm. And this is Tarantino announcing to the world, this is the kind of filmmaker I am. I understand the material that I am, in essence, borrowing from, but I know how to put a different twist on it that makes it appealing to mass audiences in a way that the people who were creating those films before couldn't quite do. And he does it even with the fact of casting Lawrence Tierney and Eddie Bunker, who had both been in these old school kind of heist films that didn't get a lot of attention but were really beloved underground.
But the cast across the board, like, are you kidding me with this? Mm-hmm. And you got guys on the come up, guys that have been apex predators for a while,
right?
Like this full different balance because. Once you have Keitel there, you're like, all right, this is more than likely going to be a legit movie. And what else you got?
He's your tentpole in the ground.
He is.
Keitel, yeah.
And once you have him, because Chris Penn, Michael Madsen, Steve Buscemi, Tim Roth, you already said Tiernan, and the other gentleman. Am I missing anybody?
Yeah, well, Tarantino's in it, and Eddie Bunker's the other guy with the How many?
That's
dicks,
who I couldn't.
How many dicks is that? That guy, yeah.
But I mean, all those, like I don't know if I really knew Buscemi. Maybe possibly popped up in something before that.
I think I'd seen him in a couple smaller. He might have been in some. He might have been in Miller's Crossing before Reservoir Dogs, but I'm not sure.
Was he? Yeah, but I saw Reservoir Dogs before I saw Miller's Crossing.
Okay. Yeah, I saw Miller's when it came out. I couldn't believe that film.
Yeah, I did.
So good. I wanted to put it on my list, but it's an Irish mob.
It is an Irish set in Chicago. Yeah, Trust me, I love that movie just as much as you do. And I was like, that's a fucking mob movie. Even though it's a fiction, it's still you're basing it on the structure, and there's enough characters from there that I could buy that this is somebody. Yeah. So I couldn't do it.
It's stylized, but it's not stylized enough to not make it still have a mob foundation. So
yeah.
But
for
Reservoir
Dogs, the amount of tension and story that they can get out of just such simplistic settings. Mm-hmm. This thing was shot on a small budget, and you still get like a rich, meaty story from that.
And you never see the heist. You never see the heist.
Don't need to see it.
It's so brilliant.
It's kind of incidental to the story because the story's about a rat in the organization.
Yep.
And as someone broke down years later on Twitter about how Roth and all the characters reveal who they are in that first initial setup.
Yeah.
Because when they're going around for the tip and McTiernan's asking who didn't tip, Roth rats out Buscemi.
Yes.
Without even basically, it didn't take much of anything. If not, he might have volunteered the information.
Right.
And you're like,
great point.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that before. And I'm like, wow, that's his introduction, within the group. And then they're flashing around. You're like, he's the rat.
That's brilliant.
And I didn't even notice.
Right.
And then, thanks to the internet, it's just like, oh, wow. And it gave me a great appreciation because you know how much time invested in that.
Yeah.
Every little aspect of that. Plus, I love the choice of colors because it makes it more interesting than going, that's Johnson, that's Dave, that's blah, like Mr. Pink, Mr. Blonde, just across the board. Why'd I got to be Mr. Pink? It's great. It's great dialogue. You're fucking Mr. Pink. Stellar movie.
He said, I'll be Mr. But no, you ever done it? People fight over that name. No, you're not going to be that. Just this is your name and you'll be that.
Yeah.
All right, Jesus, drop it. I didn't.
Well, because on another job, two guys wanted to be whatever color. Yeah. There was a fucking fight.
Now let's start fighting with each other.
Yeah, now I just assign the names and you're like, yeah, that makes sense.
But no, this is a great point you bring up, Matt. Can we take a second to look at it? Because like Keitel is the overconfident veteran. He does that in the opening diner scene. You're right.
But he's trusting, like there's a collegialness with him and McTiernan.
With Tierney, Tierney.
Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
Where you can tell that there's also a friendship and a brotherhood amongst that.
Right.
Whereas Madsen is a little more unhinged, and Buscemi doesn't want to trust anybody. He's only out for himself, but it's not undermining.
Well, I mean, in the film, too, he's the one that keeps the money. He's the one that actually
But he's the only one that's living by the rules they all created.
Exactly.
Everybody else is fudging the line, kind of. He's like, no. That's not what I signed up for. Yeah. None of us signed up for it.
That's why he has the best line sometimes in the movie. Because someone's got a hot poker up her ass, and I just want to find out whose name is on the handle. There's some great lines that he delivers so well. And you're right, through the whole thing, he's like, am I the one who's being the fucking professional?
He is. Just you don't want to like him because you want to like Keitel.
Right.
But hey, Keitel... And his reveal once he figures out what's going on, man, it's painful.
Yeah, and Madsen, it is painful. His scream is just incredible.
Yeah.
And Madsen is a fucking psychopath, and so which gets revealed as well in that situation. They're all breaking these rules. You don't be cutting a cop's ear. What's wrong with you? Mm-hmm. That makes the cops want to find you even more and fuck you up even more, man.
Yeah, but for a character like that, he doesn't care.
No, but that's what I'm saying. They're all breaking the rules. Like you said, you're right. They're all breaking the rules of what a job should be to not get heat on yourself or not put a spotlight on yourself. They're all doing different things to to get more spotlight on them when Buscemi's the only one doing the right thing. You're right. It's a fascinating film, dude.
You could say Chris Penn when he shows back up and he's like, he's the only guy that we never fucking trusted, blah, 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 blah. But for some reason, I don't include him in the same. Like, Buscemi was because he was gone for so long. Yeah. Like, he's been singing this note for a while, and no one's been listening.
Right, nice guy, Eddie. All right, so that's your number.
That was my number 3.
Oh, so my number 3, Heat.
Yeah, you're right, man. Yeah, you're right.
We're taking turns giving each other props. So, but this is fun, Matt. This is why this list is great, because it's a fluid list. It all depends on when we were making it, what we were thinking about, what we were looking at. And so, I'm kicking myself leaving Drive and Baby Driver off. But Heat is just...
Well, yeah, now I got 2, Lock, Stock, and Heat.
Yeah, Heat... Fuck, man, that is a film. I just bought the reissue of it that they put out on Blu-ray, the remaster with all this.
Is there a Criterion version?
No, I wish. I'm waiting for that. But they have all this extra commentary and special features that they put on the disc from the original one that came out a few years ago. So I had to get it. Was like $8 for the Thanksgiving Black Friday. I'm buying for $8, fucking. Yeah. But it is a film that holds up better than I thought it would. Because I remember when I watched it the first time, I was like, okay, it's good. It's not quite 100% there.
Oh,
but
really?
It's good. And then as I got older, I really started to appreciate the film more and more. Yeah, because I think when it came out and I saw it in the theater, I was like, I wanted more from that Pacino De Niro scene.
Yeah.
Because they're not even in the same room in real life. They were never in the same room.
I mean, the build-up on that.
Yeah, it was intense.
It's hard to describe sometimes because, like, I was on Movie Fights, right?
Oh, yeah.
And we had a question of what was the best Memorial Day release ever. Mm-hmm. And I said, of the list, and it was me and 2 other fine fighters, but I chose Return of the Jedi. The woman chose Empire, and another guy chose Mission Impossible.
Okay.
But whatever. And my argument was, I saw all 3 of those in the theater. Now, I was a little child when I saw Empire, but I saw all 3 of those in the theater, and to stick the landing on the anticipation for me for Jedi, and I walked away happy and content and blown away, I think that is more impressive because you lived through the anticipation and the stakes leading into it. I think it's why we both didn't enjoy Memento as much, because it was told to us, this is the greatest fucking thing of all time. Then you see it and you're like, it's a good movie. Why was this built up to be Godfather or something? Like, trust me, this is going to be in your pantheon of all time.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah, and you see it and you're like, it was good.
It ain't The Matrix.
Yeah, the hype was too great. That sometimes kills when you live through the anticipation of a film. So Heat, I didn't suffer from that, but I can understand that when you build up the stakes and you're like, oh, finally, these 2 guys that I both love, and they've been circling each other forever.
Yeah. But now it's a film that I put on because it's just awesome to lose yourself in that film, to lose yourself in that world, with John Voight's. Even John Voight's character is so different than anything I've ever seen him play.
Gives
Henry
a good performance.
Yeah, he's good in that stuff. And, of course, that guy, William Fichtner, who also does a million other films. He's great as
he was the
guy screwing him over.
Bank manager in Dark Knight.
Yes, yeah, and it was in Armageddon. He's the astronaut in Armageddon. So, but, all of those characters. And then Danny Trejo. That's when I first, enjoyed Danny Trejo. And what happens to him, that's a great scene, too, when he's
Who's the dude that goes off the deep end?
Which one?
That was part of their crew and then goes...
Waingro?
Yeah.
Waingro. Fucking Waingro,
Who
man.
plays that? I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know that actor's name, but Waingro was an asshole. And whenever I see him in any film, I always think Waingro.
I know. He pops up in a few things, and he always plays that type of character, and every time you're like, this sumbitch is unsettling.
You fucking got Robert De Niro killed, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
I fucking hate Waingro. But the way they set it up is great, and Sizemore is good here. And Kilmer, this is for me, this is almost Kilmer's last gasp as an incredible actor at that time in his career in the 90s.
Wasn't Kiss Kiss Bang Bang after this?
Oh, well, yeah, I guess you could act that. I guess you could throw that in there. But, he's more...
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
By this point, right.
Yeah, because at one point, Val Kilmer was going to be... he had a shot at being...
He had a shot at being another Tom Cruise. He had a shot at being a different type of Tom Cruise.
He did.
Absolutely. He couldn't pick the right projects.
I think some are more so appreciated afterward, like Tombstone.
His performance is great.
Yeah, I know you're not a fan of the film.
It's a TV movie.
It's awesome. It's a pulp comic western, like a pulp western come to life. You can't. Yes, they're real characters. They're based on real characters, but it is not a real story. That OK Corral.
That's what I'm saying.
It's so much fun. You got to enjoy the scenery chewing of some of the scenes.
Shut your mouth.
You do.
Stop trying to make me like a bad movie.
Michael Biehn, Powers Booth.
Look, I like every actor in the fucking movie. That's the problem.
God, I love that guy.
Yeah, but fucking...
That actress is awesome. I love that actress.
Yeah, but Dana Delaney's a TV actor. She's no business being in that movie. And
but her charm with Kurt Russell works. It really works.
No, if you say so.
I'll see you in hell. You hear me?
No, those scenes are great. But then you have to deal with the fact of him walking out in the rain. Why? Oh, get the fuck out of here.
But then he walks over across the stream. He's like, no. Just force of will, man. And you buy it. You're like, man.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, when they go on the revenge tour, that's the best part of the movie. That's
awesome.
Part of the movie.
And I like the setup. I like the opening of seeing the Cowboys in that Mexican wedding. Mm-hmm. And when one guy is translating and he gets it wrong, and Michael Biehn walks in and he's like, "You illiterate son of a bitch." Yeah. That's not what he said. But he dismisses him. Doesn't even take the time to make the insult that long.
Yeah.
It's great.
That's it. Yeah. So
movie's great.
Anyway, that's got nothing to do with the Underworld movie we're talking about.
It's talking about Heat, which is just a great caper. Plus, it's one of the few times where I buy the romance within.
Yeah.
It seems like, she's kind of stick to herself, and so is he. Yeah. And they managed to just, instead of two ships passing in the night, they actually, intercepted one another.
Yeah, and the thing is that it isn't an easy courtship because he reacts to her really strongly when because she's seen him in the bookstore. And so for him, that's a no to watch me because he watches people. So to him it conveys that he's being cased for a job. And so when she says, "I see you in the bookstore and I've seen you," what do you do? Why are you following me? Why are you looking at me, lady? Why are you watching what I'm doing? So she's like, "Oh, whoa," and she's hurt by it.
Yeah.
So he realized,
because she's a normal person and he's a psychopath.
Exactly. Exactly, and a psychopath, he has to be this way to survive, to live.
Yeah.
So when he realizes that scene in the diner, when he realizes what he has said to her, then he has this other gear, and that's what makes you like Robert De Niro. Mm-hmm. His character, he is a compassionate person. It's just he's chosen this line of work, and so you think through the whole movie. You think he's going to make this jump. He's going to leave the job. And then fucking Waingro, man. He has to finish the thing that screwed him over. And he has to get revenge for what happened. It's because of the way he's built as a man.
Technically have to.
No, he doesn't have to. But the way he's built as a man, he can't look himself in the mirror if he doesn't.
Here's a question that popped into my head because I was thinking about it. Even though De Niro is kind of the best version of all these scumbags, he's still a psychopath. Mm-hmm. And I was searching my mind of how many times I've come into contact with somebody that I would guess is on that level.
Wow.
But then my immediately I was like, you know what? I bet you John's meant more because the military aspect, certain people be drawn to that. I'm not saying that if you were in the military, because I've got now a few family members that are military. I got one of my best friends of all time. But it's like I got a couple buddies that are cops. And you talk to them, like, there's a few guys that joined the force for the wrong kind of reasons.
Yeah.
They wanted power and they wanted to exert their power. Some people could be drawn to the military and be like, I get to fire guns, I get to blow things up, I get that kind of aspect. And how many people you think you've run into? And it was just a question that was percolating in my mind.
Sure. I would say I've run into a few. Yeah. And I stay away from them because
you kind of have to.
Because you can sense it in conversation. There's a coldness. There's a directness. There's a
lack of empathy with the world.
Yes, and and you sense it when you have conversations about, because I've always been a socially conscious person since a young age. So when things happen and you're discussing it in groups, which you do in the military, groups of dudes hanging out talking,
all strangers, so you get to know each other.
Exactly, and you hear that one comment or that like stops the conversation cold, or you hear that one comment that makes everyone go, yeah. And move on from the subject because you realize you've hit that wall where you understand the psychopath in the room, or you see the psychopath in the room, and you're just like, "Yep, we're not going to keep talking about this. There's nothing going to be solved." So,
that's interesting because you almost want to be a fly on the wall in that type of situation because it's got to happen all the time when you throw that many random strangers because they got to pull from all over the country. So, that's got to happen all the time for somebody some super racist or super bigoted or super or whatever the case is, it will pop out.
Yeah.
Because you're just getting everybody from every walk of life possible.
And it's unsettling as hell because you just never know who it's going to be. And then when it happens, you're like, oh, shit, man. And you have to like work with that person. You have to serve with that person. You have to go on drills with that person. You have to do all kinds of things with that person. And it's really unsettling because you never know that's why I don't deal with absolutes. Like I think absolutes with these kinds of things are just ridiculous. Like all cops, there's someone that always defends any video of cops. No, there are cops, there are military people, there are people in every walk of life.
It's a small percentage of every walk of life.
Exactly.
Depending on how many ever people you have, it's probably going to be roughly about this number of people.
Exactly. They abuse their power in the situation because they can.
Yeah.
And so this idea that we should always defend this or always defend that is ridiculous to me. It's always a case-by-case basis. And you know yourself, there are people at your job who abuse their power. Why do you think giving a gun and a badge or
would be any different?
Would be any different?
Any different?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the job.
Yeah, exactly.
You get enough people doing it, there's going to be a dick in the bunch.
Yeah, of course.
And if they rise to the high enough of rank within actual rank or rank within the structure, whatever the fuck it is, they're going to be a dick from a higher perch now.
Exactly, because they have more power to wield, and that's always dangerous. I think also what's interesting about the movie is it's a long movie. It's not a short movie.
It moves though. It doesn't drag.
That's what I'm saying. But it's 2.5. It's almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. And Pacino's doing his thing and all the craziness.
I know the people take aim at the movie. I think that's where they usually start. It's his home life storyline.
Oh yeah, with the one with the Diane Benora
like kicking the TV out the car and all that stuff. But I was just like, that all adds to the character of a movie that I already like.
But you can't watch my TV. I heard somewhere, I can't remember who told me that. I don't know if it was you or on another podcast, but they were telling me that Pacino's character, the reason he acts the way he acts in the movie is because he's apparently a recovering coke addict or some kind of addict. And so when
if I told you that, I don't remember it. So
yeah, okay. So he's got some kind of mental stuff going on or whatever. So when he yells or when he has those scream moments or in those moments, it's that part of him coming out, but they cut it out of the film. They cut out that subplot in the film of what he's dealing with. And so him yelling and all the stuff that he's done, flipping out and saying weird shit. I think they're saying he's suffering from PTSD or something, or he had gotten shot, and so he's got something weird in his brain. So I thought I read or someone told me about that, and it explained everything about the character to me. Then I accepted it with him around the going, because she's got a great ass, and you got your head all up in it. All those random shit that he says. It's all from that. So it's interesting. I think if I'm remembering correctly. So
I have to look it up.
Yeah. What's your number 2?
My number 2 was the second one I thought of when I texted this list idea.
Okay.
The Raid.
Wow, great choice. Shit, I should have thought of it. No. Fuck, that's a great choice, dude.
Look, now this is a criminal underworld of one complex that we can see.
Yep.
But this dude controls it entirely.
Yep.
That is his own little criminal fiefdom. I mean, it's like a chieftain back in the day. This is the area that I rule, and we're all just kind of feuding little tribes and shit.
Right.
And I didn't know anything about it. A friend of mine that likes different movies, so to speak.
Yeah.
Was like, you need to see this in the theater. Once he found out that I go to see movies, at that time I was going like every Monday or Tuesday.
Right.
Just on my own during the day.
Yeah.
Because I worked at nights.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter. Nobody's in the theater. No problem. And I went to see The Raid. I actually think I saw it on a Tuesday night. And there was like 8 other people. In the theater.
Okay.
Out of like 100-seat theater or something.
Right.
Not with the biggest, but not like the tiniest.
Right.
Some points the violence was so amazing to behold.
Yeah.
And I say that not in like the loving the bloodlust of just like the idea of making the choice and pulling off, like when he bangs the dude's head against the ground as he's falling down. And it looks so legitimately believable that my reaction, and at least one, I think 2 other guys, I started laughing.
Because
My brain couldn't process.
Involuntarily.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like the amount of like, A, I'm so impressed. B, that looked quasi-realistic. Like nobody would have the energy to continuously have this kind of fight.
Right.
But in the context of just, if you want to take out this sliver, that looks so real. And just like boom, 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 boom. Comes around. It was like I started laughing and I couldn't believe how enraptured I was in an action scene. And I've seen thousands.
Yeah.
Just as you have.
Yep.
And you're kind of numb to it at this point. Now to see something that it's within a scenery that you've seen in a million movies.
Yeah.
And you do something brand new with it, at least to these eyes.
Yeah.
I was blown away. And it sucks that Dredd came out as a U.S. release.
Yeah.
Not long after. I still love Dredd. I think Dredd would have been a bigger movie overall.
Yeah.
Maybe had it not been undercut by this coming out here stateside
Right.
a couple months before.
That's a good point.
But it's just fantastic. All the action, the story, the characters. That I wish that villain had gotten a shot in American cinema, because I think he is.
Oh, yeah.
He commanded my respect, and I never wanted to read his subtitle. I just wanted to soak up what he was saying. It's like, fuck this guy.
Some of those guys showed up in The Force Awakens. They were those.
They were
guys,
the Conja Club.
Yeah, Conja. The other Conja.
Yeah,
Club,
the two guys that come in.
Yeah,
with the ones Mark Ellis doesn't.
It was Mark
Ellis. To piggyback on that joke, Ellis has got to be sick of that.
In a Schmoedown match. I don't know if it was an geek team or regular, but it fell to him to ask the question. And he goes, I can't believe that I'm asking this question. In The Force Awakens, what is the name of the crew or the gang that shows up wanting to get the Raptors from Han Solo? Everyone just broke out laughing about it because it's kind of
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it's pertinent to the subject as a whole. We got someone sneaking in. We're going to try and act like he's not in here, but fuck that, man. We're nothing if not unprofessional. Looking around, can we help you look for something?
I think I left.
Where'd you leave?
You back? Oh, there it is.
Right there.
Yeah, definitely. We wonder.
Have a good one, man. Good weekend.
Rolling, brother. All right, nice little cameo from Mark Fernandez.
Yeah, so the raid, if you haven't seen it, it's in no way did I just take away, because that tiny little scene that I talked about is 4 seconds in a 6-minute masterpiece.
Yeah.
And there was 4 other action masterpieces in this movie. Mm-hmm. It is awesome.
It's a great choice, brother. If I could have picked more of any of the foreign films, that's a great choice. If I had thought to pick them, pick Raid. Raid is a great choice. I don't know if any of these are going to qualify. I mean, I put Wick at number 2. That's my number 2. Do you have it?
That's my number 1.
Okay.
Because it was the first movie. It was like, you know what Hotel Artemis looks like? It looks like a side world in John Wick.
Well, here's
from the trailer.
John Wick is distributed by Lionsgate. Hotel Artemis is distributed by Lionsgate.
Okay.
So there are rumors that they're going to try to connect these worlds if people respond to Artemis well.
That would make sense, especially if you have Jodie Foster involved.
Yeah.
Just like if that's the pitch to her, hey, John Wick has done really well. Mm-hmm. With 2 of them, no less.
And both 80s actors, Jodie and Keanu.
Yeah.
So it's pretty badass that they do this kind of stuff. And if they make it connect, it'd be great.
Yeah, you got what? Sterling K. Brown and...
Sterling K. Brown, Charlie Day, Sophia Boutella.
Charlie Day. That's where I hope that's please. Because he might be a kiss of death.
Matt Knost, can we talk about Charlie Day for a second?
I haven't seen Pacific Rim 2.
Okay.
And I won't.
I feel like he has one note. And
he could.
It's the note he plays, and it's all he's good at playing. Because I saw the trailer for the show that he's producing for Fox set in the nursing home.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
With Martin Mull, David Ogden Stiers, Vicki Lawrence, and I forget the guy's name, but he's like the small gay actor with the sunglasses, and he has the high-pitched voice, and he's got the southern accent all the time. Oh, my God, that kind of thing. So they're all in a nursing home, and I watched the 2.5-minute trailer for it, and I was like, this is not comedy. I don't know what this is.
Is it all just cheap laughs?
Yes, cheap laughs the whole fucking time. And no, wait, not David August. Who am I thinking of? The black dude from...
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
I haven't seen the trailer.
David Allen Greer.
Oh, okay.
And they made him ancient. They put him like in old man like makeup. Like they bald his head and put like a side hair that is white. And I'm like, you are like 20 years younger than these fucking guys. And here you are doing this show. And the jokes are terrible. They're simple. They're boring. And I was like, man, you produce this. You're in charge of this thing. And, I'm starting to sense this guy has one note he can play, and this is all he can play. So people want to be mad at me. They can be mad at me. I want to see something else from Charlie Day than the spastic yelling at the top of my voice kind of guy. Isn't this funny? It's the same thing. Like he did in Horrible Bosses, the same shit. Does it in It's Always Sunny, the same shit. And then you see it in...
It's Always Sunny spawned everything else, obviously.
Yeah.
I thought Horrible Bosses, it was like a toned down version. There was more nuance.
Do you think so? Okay.
Too, because he wasn't full Charlie from, It's Always Sunny.
Okay. Pacific Rim, he's like always,
but he's also playing the scientist. Like he was, him and the other gentleman, the other scientist, plus the actual fighting are the best parts of that movie.
Okay,
the first one,
fair.
The Charlie Hunnam,
it was terrible.
Idris Elba and Asian woman who I don't know.
Yeah,
that was all terrible.
Yeah,
the father-son Aussie team or whatever, New Zealand Kiwis. Yeah. That was fucking terrible.
Yes,
everything else was terrible.
Finally, Matt Knost and I agree on the Pacific Rim being terrible, and that's good. This is a good thing.
Yeah, the action is stellar.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed the scenes with Charlie and the other guy that plays the scientist.
Yes.
I enjoyed those scenes.
Yeah.
The action to me it's amazing, and then the rest of the film falls so flat it hurts.
It really does, man.
Yeah, because I thought maybe with 2 they get it right, and then I heard all the reviews. I was like, I'm never going to see that.
2 is horrible, dude.
Yeah.
Horrible. Anyway, so John Wick. John Wick is a really fun film. Keanu Reeves, if you haven't seen it, I don't know what you're doing if you haven't seen it, this or the sequel.
Yeah.
They're really good. Both of them different in their own way, with the first one being more of a centralized story and your introduction, essentially an origin story of this John Wick character, even though he's been around in the universe for a while.
Plus,
in this world.
It is, and you obviously knew it had to be an introduction too, but I didn't view it going in as an origin story.
Right.
Because it's like every other movie that's not superhero or something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas it kind of is when you really think about it, because no human would be able to do all this crap.
Yeah.
Nobody's Jason Bourne.
Yeah.
So it's superhero-ish in that it's larger than life. But all movies are on some, on any level, I guess.
Yeah, and he's having fun, man. This is Keanu pops up in these interesting movies. He's the more successful Nicolas Cage, because Nicolas Cage does some weird ass movies as well, but they don't have the same kind of appeal that Keanu's does, like with Matrix and with something like John Wick.
Well,
he pops up.
I think Cage eventually suffered in his own eccentricities.
Yeah.
Because his real life bled into the fact that he had to take whatever project he could.
Yeah.
So it's a string of just The Witcher and Bangkok Dangerous and
oh god, yeah, Bangkok Dangerous,
Bad Lieutenant and The Knowing.
Yeah,
and
what is it, Here or whatever it is? There's one weird one like that as well, and
some of it like in The Knowing where he can see kind of in the future with the numbers.
Yeah.
Like there was a kernel of something there where I think I could have enjoyed that. I didn't hate it, but
I never hate him in the movies. The movies themselves are not that good, but I never hate him.
Yeah,
he's always given his best. It feels like in every movie that I see him in.
I think with Keanu, because he seems like a slightly more stable guy.
Yeah.
And I only say slightly more because I don't want to disparage Cage, but by comparison, he looks stable. He can make more secure choices. Plus, after The Matrix, man, that dude is set for life.
He really is.
So he doesn't have to do anything if he doesn't want to. And the nice thing is, all the skills that he really picked up and honed on those 3, now let's bring it into the real world on this.
Yes.
Take somebody just like, we didn't have to pay for the training and all that. We get to take advantage of the fact that this guy is one of how many in the world that can do that type of stuff in front of a camera really well.
Yeah, he's fantastic at it too.
Yeah.
And the film is great because obviously it's the death of his wife has passed, and then he gets this dog. His wife leaves him this dog. And the dog, and when they kill his dog, oh boy, here we go. All this stuff, and it's dealing with the Russians to a degree. Alfie Allen is in this movie as well, and all of this goes through. And you see him kick so much ass through this whole movie, and Willem Dafoe is on his side, or you're not sure where Willem Dafoe is through most of the movie. Then he makes the moves that he makes. You have Adrian Galecki. You have so much going on here that's enjoyable to watch in the movie. So yeah, definitely a fun film if you haven't seen John Wick.
I can't imagine there are many that listen to us just because it's a newer film that everybody raved about when it came out, and since, and it's the reason it got a sequel. It's like, since we've been on, that's become a big movie that everybody should have seen. So
definitely. All right, that was my number 2.
What's your number 1? That was my number 1.
Is Snatch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lock, Stock is my favorite of those two.
Fair. That's fair. I love Snatch to Pieces. It's one that it's eminently the most quotable for me. And it's a film that I go back to all the time. Brad Pitt is incredible in this movie and that character that he plays. Jason Statham, he is basically, this is him saying, I'm a lead. And you see him really do great stuff in the movie. Who else is in? Oh, the 2 black guys are hilarious. Lenny and I forgot the other guy's name is. They're the dog.
The dog and the squeaky toy.
Yeah,
and
the squeaky toy. But it never, with all the and Vinny, of course, Vinny Jones is in this again. But with all the joking that they do, there is still, Bricktop is scary as hell as a villain. The fact that he feeds people to pigs, all the stuff that goes on where they're putting them in body bags, Jesus Christ almighty, dude. It never loses this really hard edge to it, a scary edge to it underneath all the jokes and the playfulness and the eccentric characters. It's still a world that's incredibly scary to walk into, and yet you have stuff like Benicio del Toro with the gambling stuff.
You got Farina, you got Brad Pitt.
Farina, right, exactly. It was hilarious. You got anything to declare? Yeah, never go to London. And so all that kind of stuff, you have it through it, but it's still an interestingly dark fucking movie, man.
Well, yeah, because of at times the musical soundtrack and the cutting and all that, it has the pace of a movie that's going to end up kind of happy, and it does on some level.
Yeah.
For some people.
Right.
And others get screwed, which is the only way there can be. If someone succeeds, someone has to fail.
Yeah.
But the way they bounce around and the playfulness of even in the terrible situations, like especially the Brad Pitt and the Pikeys.
Yeah. Oh.
And that ridiculous accent... And the fact that I'm assuming they pulled it off.
Yes.
I don't know any better.
Yeah, we're not experts on pikey accents.
Pikeys and gypsies, I know nothing of.
I fucking hate pikeys. Yeah.
But I know that like Italy within the past year basically passed some law that kind of discriminates against gypsies.
Oh, really?
Like, wow, that's really still a thing?
Wow.
Like hatred of gypsies? I guess so.
Well, I mean, it's a culture. So if it's prevalent, some people are going to
rebel against it. It is, but to be codified into law in this day and age, especially as an EU nation, I don't know. I just read it online.
It doesn't seem progressive in any way, shape, or form.
No, and especially from a country like that. It's just like, really? Yeah. So the one thing you guys are unified again? Because politically it doesn't seem like you can pass Dick all in that country. But you guys can all get around. You know who I don't like? Gypsies. Like, really? They're that large a contingent that you guys have to do something about the gypsy problem?
Not the mafia, not the mob. The gypsies are the issue.
Not another country, not another criminal element like that would be larger. Or some sort of African gang that has moved in because you guys share a Mediterranean water border. No, it's the fucking gypsies. Okay. I don't know what the law is. Maybe just to keep them out of certain government offices, like positions or something. I don't know. Or it could be something even more benign. They can't buy bread on Sundays. But I read something online. They're like, you know what we can pass in this country? That's solid legislature. And you're like, all right.
All right, no bread on Sundays for the gypsies.
But yeah, Snatch, seeing Brad Pitt and actually believing that he could be a bare knuckles boxer.
Yeah,
he turns it on. Just like starts giving a shit. Like, oh, hey.
I like this one better than Lock, Stock because the humor really works for me and it's enjoyable. Whereas Lock, Stock there is humorous moments, but it's a lot darker of the world.
Well,
I think this is a more realized Guy Ritchie's version of things in the underworld.
He's definitely come into his own more in this. I think it's stylistically, it's got more panache to it.
Yeah.
Like the choice of characters, like making certain ones slicker than in the past. Or if I'm going to go, extravagant or eccentric with one character, then I'm going to lean into the punch a little bit more and make bolder choices. Snatch is great. His introduction to me was Lock, Stock, so it's always had a little special place in my heart.
I respect that.
And I enjoyed him thereafter. I'm excited for the fact that they're going to make another Sherlock.
Yeah.
I've loved those two films.
And he's doing another gangster film, another British gangster film.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, good.
He just started. It's in production or they're developing it. So I know we talked about it a few days ago on Collider, and I was super excited.
I was hopeful for his King Arthur.
Yeah, me
once
too,
the
man.
initial, I didn't see it because once the initial was like, it's not worth your time. You're like, all right, I'm glad I don't have to pay to see that.
Nah, man, at first, Mance and I were at the screening, watched an hour of it, and we walked out together. He looks at us. He looks at, you want to get out of here? I'll go, yeah, I really want to get the fuck out of here. He's like, let's go. So we just walked out and had a drink at the bar and then went home because it just was not an enjoyable movie. And I love his Sherlock films. I fucking love his Sherlock
Me too.
films.
And, Snatch and Lock, Stock and Rock and Roll and excited for the next two to come out.
Exactly.
Like the guy he's more than competent. He's a good director.
Yeah.
He's had a couple swings and misses, but I think that's a sign of any good artist.
Any good director has that.
Yeah,
Even
any good
had
actor,
misses.
any good anybody.
Yeah.
You're still pushing yourself and trying to figure out what you can and can't do.
Of course. All right, well, that's our separate lists here for top 10 criminal underworld movies.
All right, are the bongos at your desk?
Oh, let me go get the bongos.
Well, it's my turn to bang, so I can run and grab them.
All right,
they're at your desk?
Yeah, they're underneath the drawers. And I will vamp.
Vamp it up, baby.
What can I talk about here? Do you guys like criminal underworld movies? Do you enjoy them? Do you have a thing about them? Like, do they excite you? Like when you see one coming, you go like, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to see this movie. I can't wait to get into it." Or are you not really the best at enjoying these gangster movies? Does it upset you? Do you not want to enjoy those things? Like it's an acquired taste, that's for damn sure. And so not everybody has it, but you have to enjoy it if you can. So there it is. Oh, bongos are back. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
All right, so you were writing.
Yes.
I have my bongos.
All right.
I'm going to prepare my bongo space. Let's see how I do.
Do it.
All right,
I'm assuming John Wick is one.
I would assume so.
Yes. What was your number two?
Why don't you just go ahead and snatch it up at number two?
Thank you very much. And then what?
Because
you want
my
to put
two
the
is
raid?
Raid.
Okay, you want to put the raid there?
Do we have any commonality that's high?
We don't have any heat, but you would have put it on your list. We do have Reservoir Dogs, though, because I put it on my list after we kicked off Eastern Promises. That's my number 4. You're number 3.
Yeah, my number 3. I would say then Reservoir Dogs would go higher. Do we have any Usual Suspects? I have at 4.
I have that at 6. So we can do that next if you want.
I would assume so.
Okay. What is that again? Oh,
so what do you got?
Usual Suspects.
What's your highest?
Well, right now, Heat is left.
At what number?
3.
I got Raid at 2.
Well, okay.
Do you want to go? I think we only have.
Well, since we gave you your number 1 with John Wick.
Yeah, but it's 2 versus 3.
I feel like
it's 2 versus 3.
I feel like
it's 2 versus 3.
Well, no, because Usual Suspect is at number 4, where it was for you. So we're mirroring your list a lot. Reservoir Dogs number 3, where it was for you. So I think you can give a little bit.
All that really shows is that my list was the more accurate.
Oh, for the love of God!
The 2 lists. That's all that says.
You know
so
what?
I think you should.
I'm just putting in Heat now.
Oh,
because you said you would have put it on your list. So the Raid goes at 6.
The thing is I've done that to other people when I'm making the list. She's like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm writing it down. It goes there. It's fine. Raid goes next. John wins this week.
Thank you.
Mark that down, Internet.
Kristen Smith.
Whoever.
Shit. I said no more shout-outs to her. Damn it. All right. Well,
sorry, that baby is getting my middle name.
That's fucked up.
How's that fucked up, dude? You dropped the ball, man.
It should be.
And I was there to pick it up.
You like Big E, just roll up and pick it up. Okay. What do we have next? I have Reservoir. So we did Reservoir Dogs. Sexy Beast is what I have at 5. That's what I have next. What do you have next?
I have Sexy Beast, so go ahead.
Okay.
How many we got left?
We have 8, 9, and 10 left.
I have Collateral at 5.
Okay. The next thing I have, we did Usual. So I don't have anything till Payback. That's my number 7. Everything else.
Shit, I have Payback as well.
Okay.
Well,
and you have Lock, Stock.
No, I don't have Lock, Stock on my
Okay.
list.
All right. Payback?
Although I did say I would bump it off for Pulp Fiction.
Which is what?
That was my number 6.
Ooh. So what is the other one that you want to put on?
All right, how about this? Go...
Payback?
I think then our commonality is Lock, Stock we have higher, don't we?
Lock, Stock is number 8 for me.
I have that at 6. I have Payback at 8. You have it at 7?
I have it 7, yeah.
All right, so then what about Lock, Stock, Payback, Collateral?
Yeah, that works.
All right.
Oh, look at that. Lock, Stock, Payback, and Collateral. All right. Cool.
Done and done.
Perfect.
And you got your way. You got the one you wanted from your list.
I don't know
in
why
the order you wanted.
Why do you have to say it like that?
I think you know
understand.
why. It seems justified. Although I do like the new studio for perhaps I can get the mic placement.
Oh,
right.
yes.
I'm going to scoot over.
They got an arm on the studio, yeah, on the mic. Look at
from
that.
the top. I hope I'm not making a racket up there.
Yeah, yeah.
That hopefully.
Perfect timing.
I'm going to put the headphones on, get the cans going. See how that sounds.
Oh,
Can you hear it?
You're incredible, dude.
There we go.
That's great.
There we go.
All right.
So are we just calling this Crime Underworld?
Yeah, that's right. Let's do this.
Give me
The top 10 criminal underworld movies. Yeah. Nice.
Number 10.
Collateral.
Coming in at number 9.
Payback.
And number 8.
Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Give me the 7.
Sexy Beast.
And number 6.
The Raid.
Five.
Heat.
Finally at number 4.
The Usual Suspects.
And number 3.
Reservoir Dogs.
Coming in at the penultimate number 2 spot is.
Snatch.
And finally our number 1 criminal. Hold on, Snatch got 2?
Yeah.
I thought it went John Wick Reservoir Snatch and then Raid.
No, I thought we put Snatch at 2.
No.
Oh, you're right. All right.
Commonality
All right. Let's go back. Sorry about that.
You want me to start at number 3?
Yes. Yeah, we'll edit this in. At number 3.
Yeah, because then, all right.
We just do it at
number 3.
There we go. Snatch.
No, we keep this in. We keep the
We keep all this in?
mess. Hell
All
yes.
right, that's fine.
Hell
All right.
yes. At number 2.
Reservoir Dogs.
Finally, our number 1 criminal underworld movie is.
John Wick. There it is.
There it is, guys.
Good list. A lot of fun. This is a lot of good movies on here. If you haven't revisited them in a while, do so. And if you haven't seen any of these, you go do so. And I would recommend Hotel Artemis. I wouldn't say one way or the other, but I would say I would recommend it. That's all I'll say.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hopefully people do go see it, and it builds up a John Wickian world, and we have something fun thereafter. And Lionsgate does this so well.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
I mean, I think we included.
Okay.
I had some that I wrote down, but I was like, "Nah, you got no shot."
Okay.
Like New Jack City.
Oh no, that's good. Good. I liked it though.
Yeah, it's good. Terrible.
King of New York, I put down.
Okay.
Layer Cake,
Okay.
which I saw again the other night. It's actually a really good movie. Black Rain, and kind of pushing the boundaries with the Year of the Dragon. Both of them because they're Yakuza.
Yeah, I was
films.
gonna say Black Rain is straight
That's
Yakuza,
why I
isn't
didn't
it?
put it. That's why I didn't put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's fighting against the Yakuza. So, anyway, all right. So, what do you got? We got a gift? Another gift?
We have another gift.
What? This is becoming. I like this.
How can you not like this?
Fans start sending us gifts. We would love some gifts. This is great. What do we got? Who's it from?
So far, Alejandra Padilla
Thank you, Padilla.
sent us gorgeous coffee mugs.
Yes.
And I have I used mine just not 2 days ago. I did. It's now become my. I use
Is
that.
your go-to?
My water mug for my succulents.
Nice.
I got succulents.
Succulents.
I like
that word.
succulents. They come in a bunch of different. They're super different styles. They're super easy to take care of. Mm-hmm. Bada boom, bada bang.
And then Jay Goldeneyes gave us the bongos.
What you just heard.
Right, which were great.
What you just heard. And this comes from Claiborne Williams.
Hey, Claiborne.
And here's the note. I will read the note
Oh,
first.
please do. Oh, Jesus.
Wow, it's a long note.
Whoa.
It says top 10 note, and then Claiborne, I'm not sure you understand the definition of a note.
Of a note.
Okay, well, he puts at the top. It's a bit long, so no worries if you can't read it on the air.
Okay.
Well, I told you whatever you sent to me, I would read on the air, so you son of a bitch.
All right, Sedlin, do you need accompaniment on this?
Hey, John and Matt, after the 2 great gifts you opened on 2 recent episodes and heard how happy it made you, I immediately wanted to send one. I'll be honest, I didn't know what to get, so I was racking my brain, like a picture of you guys or a poster or something. Why would you? Okay, send us a picture of ourselves.
Okay, that's weird.
I mean, we're narcissists, but I don't know if it goes that deep. Then I realized that'd be so hard, so I got some shirts that I saw on Amazon because I'm lazy. Well, we're all lazy.
Come on now. It's the thought that counts.
What can I say is what he says. I didn't design them. I chose the design because of the 2000 episodes. Also, they looked great and uncommon because of the 2000 episodes. All right, I'm going to try and...
Yeah, don't spoil the shirt. If you spoil the shirts in the notes, I'm going to be mad at you, Claiborne. Don't read if you spoiled it. I want to be surprised.
In all seriousness, I want to show my gratitude. You guys are phenomenal, and the show is phenomenal. You've been with me through a lot of shit in this life, so we appreciate that.
Thank you, Claiborne.
I'm going to skip to the end. So in short, I could never thank you guys enough, but I'm always going to try. So you don't have to do that.
Thank you.
But we thank you so much. As always, much love to the rulers of the great and sovereign Rocanopolis. Stay being trimmed strong and keep lasering those nipples.
Yeah.
I think it was lasers firing out of the nipples. Lasering the nipples almost sounds like we're taking off the hair around the nipples.
Right.
Like we got a serious problem.
But he's trying to make it an active thing.
Anyway, so your passionate fan, Clay, P.S. John Anchorman deserved to be higher than Eternal Sunshine. And right, Matt, I think you need to work out your Superman issues with a therapist or something so you can figure out what suppressed traumatic memory of Superman made you this way. I think there's just the boredom inherent within seeing. So there you go, sir. I have no idea what it is.
Oh, wait, the medium is yours.
Well, it's the same. I believe it's the same shirt.
No, I think one's, but one's
the same
large.
Shirt.
Okay.
But here we go. Certificate of authenticity. It is, there you go. I drink your milkshake. We brought it up. There will be blood.
Awesome. Oh, my God. I can't wait to wear this shirt.
A gorgeous T-shirt.
Look at this. Daniel Day-Lewis. I drink your milkshake. I drink it all up.
And certificate sticker looks like from Jared Swart from the artwork that is genuine.
Wow.
Although it's printed as a sticker, so I don't know how much actual weight within a legal system that carries. Your Honor, I have a sticker. Oh, case closed. Case closed.
You should have submitted that as the first evidence.
That's not against you, Clay. That is you against you, Jared. Come on, class it up with your certificate of authenticity.
This is great. Little Daniel Plainview action. Yeah. I love it.
With a nice little frothy milkshake. It almost looks like a root beer float.
He looks happy as hell to be.
He does.
Milkshake,
it looks like it's delicious.
Nice quality Fruit of the Loom fabric. I like this HD cotton. HD cotton. Dig it.
Is that what it says? It does say HD.
Yeah, it means it's
real. This is high definition cotton.
High definition cotton.
Your eyes are experiencing this in a depth you never imagined.
Oh, this is fantastic. Claiborne, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
To everybody, the 3 of you that have taken the time to send us something.
Yeah.
I get a kick out of it every time.
Yeah, please. And if anybody else wants to send us something, please, you can get the address from Matt. He has it sent to the...
send it to the shop.
Saucy Brats.
Just give us a heads up so we can let them know.
Absolutely. All right. Well, is there anything else we need to wrap up? Anything else we need to talk about? Are we good?
No, I think that is it for this week. Thank you so much to everybody out there listening. If you want to join us on Facebook, it is facebook.com/groups/the top 10 show with the number 10, or on patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10.
Oh, yeah. And I do want to say one thing to those of you who've been clamoring for Matt Knost to be on the Cinephiles. We recorded an episode of the Cinephiles with Matt Knost, and it'll be coming up soon, letting you know so that you can get excited for that. And we'll have Morris on. We'll have Steve on the top 10 show very soon once we figure out these topics over the next few months and send him what he wants. Send him which one he wants to be on. Huh?
Dude, his house is so dope.
I know. And he's had that for a long time.
21 years is what he told me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked for like 10 minutes before he got there because my wife and I have been looking at houses for a while now. I was walking in and be like, you live here?
Yeah.
Oh, we've been here 21 years. God, what was this neighborhood like 21 years? Like all the million things. But anyway, great guy.
Yeah. Steve's a really good guy and very knowledgeable about film. And so it's fun to do the show with him. It's you guys are two different energies. So it's enjoyable for me to just do two different type of shows.
Yeah,
I hope you had a good time.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, cool. I'm sure we'll have you back, brother. All right. Well, if you guys want to follow me, you can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram, ROCHA. And you see all the stuff I do on Collider, all the other podcasts like we spoke about with the Cinephiles, things of that nature. And there will be a new Outlaw Nation coming up in a couple of days. Matt Knost and I are going to record it here very soon. So look for that. We'll talk about the NBA Finals and a bunch of other shit. So that's it. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Oh.
If you want to follow me online, it's at Matt Knost, MattkNost. That's Twitter, Instagram, whatever.
That's right.
But thanks from all of us here at the Top 10. Thank you, Claiborne Williams.
Thank you, Claiborne.
Thank you, Jay Goldeneyes. And thank you, Alejandra.
Yeah.
We appreciate it every time. And that's it for us.
All right, we'll talk to you next week on the Top 10 Show.